Firstly, this is what's advertised as far as what you see and expect. Advertised as an auto flow honey hive. I also, when I received mine, I did not receive these extraction tubes that go on the auto flow combs, and communication with the seller has been shoddy at best, and there's definitely been a language barrier that seems to be getting in the way as far as communicating what the issue is. So it did come with everything else that you see pictured, including an extra cap for these combs here for both the tool access and the tube covers. So, on to the actual hive after I've assembled it. Well, here it is. Came with a set of instructions. That's one page, which is ample. It's very simple. I did a couple modifications, which I'll get into in a second, but this is the side access port. The top. This had a protective film on this side and this side only, which I'll show you here in a second. The other one did not have a film and also appears to have a waxy coating all over it. So here's the front. It also came with the entrance reducer. My sawdust, I was doing a little in-room modifications here. And here's the other side. Now, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Well, you can't really see it that well, but it's much cloudier and hard to see. But when you have this, look at it from the inside with one of these removed, and it's just apparent that's a lot different from the other one. So and here's this end, the back end, which is also the access end for extracting your honey and checking on the hives as well. Here's your tool ports. And here's the tube extraction ports. far as I can see, they're essentially the same as a flow hive. There's one other I have seen that is comparable to this, and really the main difference I could see was the tube access, which had a little bit different shape. Like one is coming down, this one's coming like at a rounded bottom, and the other ones are more at a V point. This whole hive also has a waxy coating all over it. I'm not sure if that's, I'm assuming it's some kind of paraffin wax or something rather than beeswax. Now, I have also, before I go on to the inner part, I decided to reinforce this with screws, which are not part of the original assembly plan, putting them on each of these finger joints all around on all sides. And I opted not to use glue just because I try to stay as natural and chemical free as possible, and the wood glue is pretty safe. I'm not overly worried about it, but you know, I just could get by with it. And they'll fill it in with propolis anyway, so it should be good. The other thing that I did, because I wasn't real sure about these vent holes, my mixed feelings on those from all my research I've done, I put some stainless steel mesh screening in the back part in case there are guard bees that might be looking at me and whenever I approach to extract honey. But I left the front ones open so they could go in and out. I may devise some kind of plug to plug these up in the wintertime, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm just going to have to see how it goes. They might, some ventilation's good to get the condensation out, but so right now they are what they are. The other modification I've done on these, it was easy enough. I added these latches right here, which I cut into this, the Dremel, to fit a screw head into it. So, and then put a piece of wood over it, screwed it into this to hold that screw in. And then I added this other block right below it. I drilled a hole into for the screw to go in, so I don't have to use ratchet strap. Let me get the other one off here. So comes right out. Simple design concept. Kind of did it with my hand drill, so it wasn't real neat, but it's secured. So now, and then as you see, I just drilled a hole, and voila. Now this came with a screen that shows on the diagram. This goes right where I have it, but I'm not real sure what the point of that is. It'd be nice to have that as a mite screen versus up here, but maybe someone more experienced could tell me why they did that. They have some other reason that I just can't figure out. I have a top cover that I purchased separately right here actually for feeding and insulation, because that seems like that screen would allow too much air through and openness and access to this, possibly by pests, etc. So I don't know. I might use that as make an insulation board later for the winter and just use that as my base. So that's what it comes with. And of course, these flow frames, like I said, they, as far as I can see superficially, they look the same. I guess it remains to be seen how well they work. So back. And of course they have these little caps that come out. Those look a little different too from the other flow frames that I got. You know, the access tube. So that's that top one, top super. The queen divider, which I actually like. It's made of wood. And queen excluder divider, same concept. It's essentially the same on either side. So these frames did not come with it. I had my local beekeeper make these, the wax foundation for my brood chamber. Just gonna go ahead and take these out so you see the bottom. You know, it's pretty well made, all things considered. And it's supposed to be cedar. It doesn't really have a very strong cedar smell. It's definitely not red cedar. So we'll see. I'm setting it up today with my bees, and we'll go from there.